go, caller. You're on the air.
Hail and kill, Neely. Hail and kill, Chris. This is Kurt out in Las Vegas.
Oh, what's going on there, Kurt?
Can I tell you about the guy kicked out of my taxi on Thursday because he asked me to shut off the podcast of the CMS show?
Oh, we got to hear this. Go ahead.
Talk about.
So I'm listening to the podcast, the one with Major League Baseball and the video game and the Chuck E. Cheese.
Okay, the girl who supposedly wrote the Major League Baseball because she was outraged and offended because Chuck E. Cheese said, well, there's always softball, and that made me feel bad.
Exactly. So I picked this guy up at the Mandalay Bay, the back of it, and I'm taking him to the airport.
Hold up, before you go further, how old is this guy?
He's probably in his early 30s. I'm 45.
Okay.
So he's in his early 30s. He was here for a convention, taken him to the airport. We're at around maybe in the podcast about the 16-minute mark.
Okay.
And we're about halfway to the airport where I think, and Chris is not really swearing that much. He's not going off like he normally does. But we got to the part where Chris might have said faggot. And then as we're coming around, he asked me, oh, can you turn this off? I find this offensive. So I hit the button, I turn it off, and I say to him, I guess, well, we know now who the snowflake is.
Oh, boy.
So we continue to drive, around the corner onto Tropicana, going towards the airport. And he mumbled something else. And I just said, you know what? Well, he said, oh, you could listen to that on your time.
This is my time, pal.
That's what I said. You're here and I'm here, and this is my taxi. This is my time. And then after that, I just pulled in front of the bus stop. I said, you could get out. He kind of looked at me for a minute and said, what? Are you serious? And I'm hitting the meter, opening the door. I said, yeah, piss off. Got out the back, put his damn luggage on the street right there, and pulled into the parking lot around. And got the hell out of there. Didn't even care about the $8.11.
Now, do you drive for a taxi company, or are you like Uber or Lyft or something?
No, out here in Vegas, it's not like any other place in the country. We're all company employees.
Okay, so you weren't.
Sometimes you could lease. Yeah, sometimes you could lease, and sometimes, but you can't own your own medallion or own your own taxi like that.
I gotcha. So you weren't too concerned about this guy complaining to your taxi company?
Well, I could have cared less, because the worst they would have done is fired me. Then that would have motivated me to get off my ass and get a better job, which I should have done probably 5 years ago. And then, or else they would have suspended me for a day, and I would have gotten a day off. So I could have cared less. But I mean, I know, Neely, you've been out here to Vegas, and where I left him at on this street to walk into the airport, if he was going to walk, even if he knew where he was going, it would still take him a good 40 minutes to get to one of the terminals.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And an hour at best. And with the taxi ride, it's only about 12 minutes, 15 minutes at most.
That is awesome.
And it was the last ride of the day, too, so I didn't care. I was turning the cab in and going home for my shift.
Yeah, there you go.
What day was this? Was this yesterday?
This was on Thursday.
Okay, did you get any repercussions from your company?
No. I'm just responsible for that $8, and I could have cared less. And then it was the last ride. He didn't call. If he would have gotten the taxi number, I could have cared less. No, our taxi companies are short out here. They're losing people left and right for the way they treat people. But I did call him a stupid millennial, too, or mumbled something to that effect. Once I was throwing his luggage out.